Hey YouTube, USA Second Amendment here with a video for you guys. As you can tell by the title, flying with a firearm. So I'm going to go over how I fly with a firearm. I did a lot of research on this on YouTube and, looking at videos that other people have made as far as flying with a firearm and the best way to do it. And I think I found one of the best ways to do it. And to ensure that your firearm is not going to get stolen. I've heard a lot of people, on the forums or on YouTube say that, every now and then, your firearm will get taken, and you definitely don't want that to happen. That's just a bad day all the way around, because that then means it's a stolen weapon, and who knows what crimes are going to be committed with that weapon, and much less you trying to get your firearm back. Anyway, so just got back from a trip. This is actually the second time I've flown with a firearm. The first time I flew on Delta. This time I flew on JetBlue. Both have the exact same policies as far as when I get to the counter. They might say the wording might be a little bit different on their websites, and I encourage you guys, check the website for the airline that you are flying on before you fly with a firearm. Obviously, you should already know if you fly with a firearm, unless you're a prior approved by the airline, and prior approved being that you're either on-duty police officer or a federal agent or escorting a prisoner or anything like that. Your firearm has to be in a locked case in your suitcase. So anyway, let me show you what I do. So this is just regular, suitcase that we travel with. Now, you have to do what's called a declaration, a firearms declaration. That means, and there it is right there, if you can see that, that means that you are declaring that, hey, I have a firearm in my suitcase. You're also declaring that it is unloaded, and that the ammo is in an original container, and that everything's in a hard case, and it's locked. And yada, yada, yada. Like I said, I'm not going to go over that in too depth. Just look on the website so you guys know what's going on. If you have any questions, leave them below, and I'll be happy to answer them. So, a lot of people that I see, or a lot of videos I saw, they took their firearm, locked it in the case, and did this and all, and then just put the case in their suitcase. The problem with that is, if Mr. TSA guy decides, hey, I like that firearm because he sees it on the x-ray or whatever, and he's like, oh, we need to open it up for inspection, even though it's already been declared and yada, yada. Just, well, they've caught many TSA agents stealing stuff, and in my opinion, the TSA is worthless, and it doesn't make us any safer. It's just all about people control. But that's a topic for another video. Anyway, so what I did, oh, look at that. Oh, oh, wait, you want to take my firearm? Oh, wait, no, you can't. You know those gun locks that you get with every new gun purchase that you'll never use, and that they're basically just a paperweight and just a waste of money and time? Well, guess what? I found a use for them. So I took one and locked it in there. I unzipped the bottom part of my suitcase and locked it to the frame of the suitcase. I wrapped this cable around that. Then I took another one and locked it to that. And then I took that one and locked it around my handle. So, in addition to that, I got these from, I believe they were Sears I got them from, but you can get them from Walmart or any place like that. Master Lock. This was a set of 4. Great part about that is I have 2. If TSA ever jacks my locks up, I have 2 more that all use the same key. Let me show you the key that came with it. So all 4 in the set use the same key. So if I lose, these 2 on here, or they get jacked up or whatever, I have 2 more that I can still utilize the same key. Now, let me show you what's in here, and then I'm going to tell you about my experience a little bit today flying versus the other time that I flew. As I'm opening it up, I'll talk to you guys. I'm going to set this there. There you go. Oh, wait, one more thing before I start. Usually, also, I tape a note card to the outside of my case. For assistance with this case or to open, please call, and then I have my name and my phone number. Now, I do that because it is telling them if anyone needs to get in it, basically, hey, give me a call and I'll open it if it needs to be opened. Don't take bolt cutters and jack my stuff up. Anyway, let me go ahead and open this for you guys like I said. And I keep all these keys on me at all times. These keys never leave my side. If one of the agents at the check-in counter or a TSA agent needs to open the case, I do not hand them my keys. I take my keys out and I open the case for them. Once they're happy, I lock the case back. Now, there are some videos I saw that state that, you know, sometimes they'll be like, oh, well, hand me the key. If they insist on doing that and that's the only way it's going to happen, hey, maybe I'll do it. But I haven't had to deal with that yet. I did have to deal with today for the first time someone wanting me to open the case. So, real quick to give you a little backstory. The first time I flew with the Firearm, like I said, was on Delta. This was back in July. And they just looked at it and, you know, said, is it unloaded? I said, yes. Is the ammo stored in a separate container? I said, yes. And they were like, okay, here's your declaration thing for Delta. And Delta didn't even have this little elastic band thing. They literally just had a piece of paper and just, oh, in fact, here, hold on, I have a Delta one. Here we go. Here's the one from Delta. So it's orange. Delta Firearms unloaded. You're declaring by federal air regulations, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, so that's Delta. They literally just set it on top of the case, and I shut the suitcase back, and that was it. Delta was very easy. JetBlue going from where I left out of, which I left out of Richmond, Virginia, was easy. JetBlue coming back, which I flew back through Orlando, Florida. They were a little bit more of a pain in the butt, and so was the TSA there. But let me go over that. Not a bad pain in the butt, not enough to discourage me from flying with a Firearm, just a little bit more. So anyway, so like I said, I've flown twice with a Firearm. That means 4 check-in counters total, okay? Delta flying out and flying back, and then JetBlue flying out to Orlando and flying back from Orlando. So flying back from Orlando, you know, I get to the counter and I say I have an item to declare. She knew exactly what it was. I didn't have to say I have a firearm because there's a lot of people around and yada yada. I just say I have an item to declare. That's all you need to say when you go up to the counter. Don't walk up to the counter and say, hey, I have a gun, or hey, yeah, I got a firearm I need to fly with, or anything like that. I just say I have an item to declare. And 99% of the agents out there know what you're talking about. Anyway, so she said, okay, open it up and let me see. So I opened up the suitcase, how I normally do, and I let them see what I just showed you with the, you know, with it's all locked and the, you know, the master locks are on the side. It's all locked up like Fort Knox, right? She's like, you need to open the case. And I said, well, do I need to open the case? I said, I've never had to open the case before. But I think this agent was new. She didn't really know what she was doing. But, you know, we were there a little bit later than what we had wanted, so I didn't have a lot of time to go back and forth. So I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll open the case. So I took my keys out and unlocked everything, and, you know, and then I opened it up, okay? Here, hold on, let me get this tag off of there. So, sorry. All right, so unlocked everything. You know, I popped this and I popped that and boom, and I open it up. Okay, so, and all she did, she looked at it and she said, okay, shut it back, lock it back. Okay, but before I got ready to lock it, she's like, wait. I got to put this in the case. And I said, in the case? I'm like, no, last time they just put it on the outside of the case or wrapped it around the handle, as you just saw. And she's like, no, it's got to go in the case. Thankfully, there was another agent standing right next to her that said, no, it doesn't go in the case. It goes on the outside of the case. And I'm like, thank you, because if it's in the case, that means in order to see this, they have to what? Open the case. Now, yes, I know they have x-ray and all that crap. But you get what I'm saying, right? So anyway, so it goes on the outside of the case. Show you guys what's up in here. My Glock 26 Gen 4. I carry 2 mags usually when I fly. The ammo must be, they say, in an original container. So this is my original container. You know, just the box that it came in, or another box. It doesn't really matter. They don't check. But you can't have ammo loose or in a baggie or anything like that. It needs to be... There you go. It needs to be in a container so that, you know, there's no chance of anything bumping into that primer and the round going off, basically, which I understand. Anyway, and then my my ZT knife. So I used to just throw my knife in the suitcase, and then I realized real quick, if Mr. TSA guy back there is like, "Oh man, that's a cool knife. Oh, I need to inspect the suitcase." Oh, he looks in there, you're like, "Oh, yeah, okay, it's good, put it back." Yeah, but there's no knife there anymore. So, anyway, anything you can do to lock up your valuables, do it. I don't trust the TSA as far as I can throw them, but that's just me. Speaking of TSA, so at this airport in Orlando, so I always opt out. I don't do the whole... you know, naked body scanner. It's bad enough that, you know, the TSA is there to start with, much less looking at your naked body. So anyway, so I opt out, and I'm getting ready to go through and stuff, and you know, this guy comes over, and he's like a big, you know, acting like sort of like a big buff tough guy to a point, but he's a little bit older gentleman. So I didn't think nothing of it. So I stand over there and I just raise my arms, and he's like, "Oh, put your arms down. I gotta say, you know, what I legally have to say." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he's got this whole demeanor about him. I had my NRA hat on. I have my shirt. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says, "In God I Trust." And he looked at that, and you could see, like, on his face of a look of disapproval. So anyway, before he said what he legally had to say, he goes, are you one of those opt-out guys?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I guess so." He goes, He says, and then looks at my shirt, and then, like, does this, again, and then says, "Okay, raise your arms." So he never said... I wish I had this on video, of course. My camera was in my book bag. I just didn't think to pull it out at the time. We were trying to get to our gate. And he's like, "Okay, raise your arms." So he never said what he legally, supposedly, had to say, right? So then I was like, "Oh, this is going to be fun." So his whole objective, I think, was to make it as uncomfortable as possible. So he goes up underneath my armpit, and squeezes, almost like he's squeezing my boob. Or under my underarm, right? And then he, like, rubs the back of my butt, and then he gets right up into my freaking, like, gooch, like up, like where your leg ends, right? And your crotch begins, and right underneath my butt crease, and he squeezes. Like there's going to be something there. And as he did that, I moved back a little bit, and he continued. I didn't say nothing. Like I said, we were trying to get to our gate. We got to the airport a little bit later than what we were anticipating, or what we were hoping. We had to return to the rental car and so forth and so on. So we were in a little bit of hurry. So I didn't, like, verbally go after it, just because I didn't have time to sit there for 30 minutes and deal with them trying to make my life even harder. But anyway, that's the only airport that I've ever had a problem with, was the Orlando airport. Outside of that, I've done Richmond and let's see, Little Rock, Arkansas, and DC, Dulles, and none of that I've ever had a problem with the TSA agent. But this guy, I don't think he liked the NRA. I don't think he liked the shirt I had on that said "In God I Trust," and he just wanted to make... I don't think he liked the fact that I opted out. I think he just wanted to make it difficult. But anyway, just fair warning, if you're going through Orlando. But anyway, outside of that, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them below. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Like I said, I did a lot of research and looking at, what's the best way to fly with a firearm, and this works for me. I've never had them call me back or any issues or problems with flying with the firearm. So yeah, again, thank you guys for watching, and hope you have a good day.